Sarah hated dolls. They were creepy. Their eyes followed you. Sarah preferred books. Books were quiet. Books didn't stare. One day, Sarah's mum announced they were cleaning the attic. Sarah groaned. The attic was full of dusty old things, probably more dolls. "Maybe we'll find something interesting," her mum said. Sarah doubted it. Attics were for spiders and bad dreams. The attic was dark and musty. Cobwebs hung from every corner. Sarah wrinkled her nose. She hated spiders even more than dolls. Her mum opened an old trunk. Inside, nestled in yellowed cloth, was a doll. It had a porcelain face, rosy cheeks, and bright blue eyes. Sarah shivered. "It's beautiful," her mum whispered, lifting the doll. Sarah took a step back. The doll's eyes seemed to follow her. Sarah couldn't stop thinking about the doll's eyes. They were so lifelike, so watchful. She tried to read, but the doll's gaze haunted her. At dinner, Sarah told her mum about the eyes. "It's just an old doll, honey," her mum laughed. But Sarah wasn't so sure. That night, Sarah had a nightmare. The doll was in her dream, its blue eyes glowing in the dark. Sarah woke up with a gasp. Over the next few days, strange things started happening. The doll, which Sarah's mum had named Emily, seemed to move around the house. One morning, Sarah found Emily sitting at the kitchen table, the vase of flowers lying shattered on the floor. "It wasn't me," Sarah whispered, her eyes wide with fear. Her mum blamed the cat, but Sarah knew the truth. Emily was moving, and it was only the beginning. The strange occurrences continued. Sarah heard whispers coming from her room at night, soft childish giggles that sent shivers down her spine. One day Sarah could have sworn she saw Emily blink. She ran out of the room, her heart pounding in her chest. She couldn't take it anymore. She told her mum about the whispers, the giggles, and the blinking. Her mum just patted her hand. It's just your imagination, sweetie," she said. Sarah stopped sleeping. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw Emily's piercing blue eyes staring back at her. The whispers grew louder, the giggles more menacing. One night, Sarah woke to the sound of the rocking chair in the hallway creaking back and forth. She pulled the covers over her head, but the sound continued. Creak, creak, creak. She knew Emily was behind it all, but what did the doll want? Sarah's best friend, Billy, didn't believe her stories about Emily. He said it was all in her mind. To prove him wrong, Sarah dared him to spend the night. "What are you scared of?" Sarah taunted. Billy, trying to hide his fear, agreed. That night, they both lay awake in Sarah's room, listening to the silence. Suddenly, the door creaked open. A cold breeze swept in, making the curtains sway. Billy sat up, his eyes wide with terror. Standing in the doorway was Emily. The moonlight seemed to make her eyes gleam an unnatural blue. She was holding something in her hand. Billy and Sarah were paralyzed with fear. They watched as Emily slowly walked towards them, her tiny shoes tapping on the wooden floor. As Emily got closer, they could see that she was holding a small, crumpled piece of paper in her hand. She held it out to Sarah. Trembling, Sarah reached out and took the note from Emily's cold porcelain hand. She unfolded it carefully. It read, "Help me." Sarah and Billy exchanged a look of horror. What did it mean? Who was Emily, and what did she need help with? Suddenly, the rocking chair in the hallway stopped creaking. The room was plunged into an eerie silence. Emily had vanished. The next day, Sarah and Billy went back to the attic. They searched through the old trunk where Emily had been found, hoping for a clue. At the bottom of the trunk, under a pile of moth-eaten clothes, they found a small, leather-bound diary. On the cover, written in faded ink, were the words Emily's diary. With trembling hands, Sarah opened the diary and began to read. The secrets of the haunted doll were about to be revealed. As Sarah and Billy read through the diary, they discovered the story of Emily, a young girl who had lived in the house many years ago. Emily had loved her doll very much, but one day tragedy struck, and Emily was never seen again. Her spirit, it seemed, had become trapped inside the doll. Sarah realized that Emily didn't want to scare her. She just wanted their help. But could they find a way to free Emily's spirit and bring her peace?